All right.
The Lord guy, the dark Lord guy who starts everything. Jeff, I believe his name's Jeff.
Harass him on your own time, Town. I got other stuff to do. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the BREWDCAST. I am, as always, Bud Robinson. I have my seltzer water, my tea, my water. I also have a throat lozenge.
But you hydrating?
I also have Leon Robinson and Town Robinson. I have no Laffy Tappies.
I have a blue raspberry Laffy Taffy.
I am jealous of you.
I'm worried if I eat it, I will choke.
Those things are tough, especially if they're old. It gets really, really hard to do.
I know. I died of it once.
I got a sparkling cola Celsius drink.
You know who loved those?
LaCroix.
Emperor Jeff.
Oh, you made me spit. Laughing while I was... Oh,
when he's gone, when he's gone, just turn him into a picture of a smiling Roman Reigns. All I want.
I'm just going to do a drawing of Doug Skyman.
Oh, Doug Skyman's the best. Who
I'm pretty sure is just a Mega Man character. So what?
I think we should share the chat. That one day we were going on that rant, me and you, and it was fucking hilarious. Leon was just done. Yeah, I know he set his phone down and didn't look at it. He's like, "Fuck you guys." We had it went on and on and on. It was like an entire morning. I got to work. I sent him the first message at 7:45, and at 9 o'clock I was still going.
Yeah, you are on a rampage. No pun intended.
Rampage. What are we talking about, bud?
I don't know. What are we talking about? Is this still wrestling?
Yeah.
Not Cats, not best. Star Wars.
We are the best. Well, what if they did other Star Wars with cats? And Leon's cat Ninja could play Doug Skyman.
I would watch that. Oh no. I fucked it up.
There we go. He's a little well, I suppose he could be Doug Skyman in the sequel trilogy.
He just called him Doug Skyman. Here we go. We got him now. It's done. Leon's done.
I love the idea of someone in sci-fi being named Doug. I don't know. There's something appealing to that.
It's very weird, very odd. Has anybody looked at Twitter in the past 2 hours?
I have not.
I got home late, and I didn't see all of Dynamite.
Okay.
And I did not see this part of it. They had a promo video tonight for a new act coming to AEW.
Oh boy.
The Elite. They're coming back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I think the...
You.
Well, you don't like the Elite, but I do. If they were 7 feet tall and couldn't work, you'd love them. What if they did a Kali chop? I
bet you they would, just for you. Yeah. I bet you they would, just for you, Leon.
I already got Leon. Yeah, it took me 3 minutes to do this today.
I think we're gonna. I think this is gonna be Leon right here, just sitting there shaking his head just the whole time because we're gonna be fucking with him the whole time.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck with him, but that's what we love. We love him. If I didn't fuck with you, it means I don't love you. Punk's gone. I think is what we're getting out of this. I think Punk's gone. I think it's done. I think they're gonna buy him out and they're gonna do that. And I don't know if I agree with it. And I think we all very much have a different opinion on Punk. And I think
hell.
I what's going on, bud?
So I would like to inject the things that I've heard that
I've heard a lot.
relate to this.
I've heard a lot.
And I'm sure you all have heard a lot of this. First of all, I think it was Meltzer commented on how he's definitely the biggest draw. He did the breakdown. I don't remember any of it because it was a week ago that I read this. He's definitely one of their biggest draws. Like when he's on TV, people are watching, numbers go up.
Yep.
CM Punk or Nick Hausman, yes, reached out to Punk's camp because there was this, everybody thinks that the Elite is coming back, and obviously they are. And some sort of interesting stuff came out of that. He said, this is not him, this was his camp, whatever that means. That said, he felt threatened and reacted according to Illinois law in defense of himself, and that's perfectly legal. So there was no litigation, nobody was pressing charges or anything like that.
This honestly feels like two whiny, spoiled kids got into a fight. Well, in this case, one spoiled kid got into a fight with three other spoiled kids. And the three spoiled kids got their way. That's honestly what this feels like. I mean, that's where I sit with it. Because I know that you have your opinion, Bud, and I know you have your opinion, Leon. But, I'm a school teacher. I deal with this shit every day. And you have stupid things like this that happen. And the big thing always is, hey, we're here together. We got to make this work. So, was Punk wrong? Yes. Were the Bucks wrong? Yes. Was Kenny Omega wrong? Yes. Was Tony Khan wrong? Yes. I just don't see this as, here I am. If I'm a wrestler and I'm going to go to the AEW, why the fuck did I call it the AEW? If I'm going to go to AEW, I don't like that. We're going to go with that though. The AEW. We're ruining everything today.
Yes.
If I'm going to go to AEW, and I don't agree with something that Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks wants to do, does that mean that I'm just going to get shit on like Punk? Like, am I going to be in the same boat, or do I have to, everything they say I have to agree with? Because that's kind of how this feels. Like, he picked on me, he hit us, he beat us up. They shouldn't have gotten into a fight. There's two sides to that. And I'm not. It's so easy to say it's Punk's fault and he's an old prickly bastard, because he is an old prickly bastard. But he got pushed. And they were doing shit, and there was more going. There's so much more happened there than we know. And now he's gone, and the Bucks and Omega are back, and they got their way, and the guy that was bothering them that they didn't agree with, they got rid of. Like, if I'm Vince McMahon and this is happening, is this what I'm going to do? Fuck no. I'm going to have them both back. Because Punk makes that company a lot of money. Punk has a huge fan base. Punk is a star. And now we're just going to, because the Bucks and Omega got their feelings hurt? Like, what the fuck?
I have to interject here because you're missing a large number of key points here. First of all, Punk has been rubbing the roster the wrong way for months, for many months. He has. Just hold on. I have many things to discuss.
But I want to contradict each point as you say it. Let's start with that.
No. Hold on. He's rubbing the locker room the wrong way. He publicly went on TV he publicly went out on TV and disgraced or tried to embarrass one of their former champions. He went on the Scrum and badmouthed Talent, which, to be completely fair, you are correct. We have said this many times on the podcast. Tony Khan should have shut down. However, that's still not some way that's not something you can do on TV where it's recorded and get away with it.
I want to go.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me round out my point here. The thing that I'm trying to say here is that the altercation was publicized, was made public by CM Punk because he made it public. The Elite and the Bucks and Omega, those are all the same people. I don't know why I said that. They weren't on screen when they were saying CM, whatever they said to CM Punk.
So does brewing something backstage and talking shit backstage and going behind people's back, is that better? Is that how you're supposed to go about it?
I'm not saying it's better.
That doesn't seem right either.
I'm not saying it's better, but I'm saying that
at the same time, Hangman started this whole thing by the shot he took at Punk. And I got to be honest with you, you don't fucking take shots at CM Punk. You don't freelance out there and take a shot at the dude because you know what the dude is going to do.
He's going to unload on you.
You can cash a check on him and he's going to come back.
But that doesn't make it okay.
It doesn't make it okay that Paige did it. So if you're going to go the TV route and say, well, he did it on TV, well, so did Paige. Paige did the same.
I will also point out that Paige's comment was pretty much forgettable. The only reason anybody's talking about it is because CM Punk brought it up. Because CM Punk made it a big deal. Like, even on this podcast, we talked about how we didn't even catch it until CM Punk pointed it out, and then we said, oh, okay, I get it.
And you're right, and I'm not going to dispute that. And I'm not trying to justify what Punk did, because I don't think a justification is needed, because he did what he did, and like, he's wrong. Like, it's fine, he's wrong, but the Bucks are wrong, and Omega's wrong, and Hangman was wrong. You can't just throw the blame on CM Punk. And I think that's what, like, so many people are either it's Punk's fault or it's the Bucks' fault and Omega's fault, but it's everybody's fault. And it's everybody's fault. And then the guys that were there and the guys that are close with Tony Khan and the EVPs, they're going to get their way, which I'm saying as a company, when I'm trying to hire people, that makes me look really bad. That's not a good look. If you disagree with us, you're going to have to pack your bags and leave.
What you're saying, though, what you're making it sound like, though, is that everybody has equal blame here, and they do not. Punk made AEW look bad. The way that he's dealt with a lot of this shit makes AEW look bad. The Elite has not done anything to make AEW look bad. In fact, they had it. After the situation after the situation at All Out, everybody shut up. They didn't even release a BTE that week.
Because they weren't allowed to. Because they were told they could.
They were told.
Leon is over here strongly disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let Leon go. Go ahead, Leon.
Well, let's go back to your first point. He's a prickly bastard and everybody hates him backstage. You know who hates him backstage? The Elite. Full stop. There's so many other stories. Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, FTR, all sorts of people coming out that before all this shit happened, that were coming out and telling stories about him, being able to sit there and answer questions and go over critiques and that kind of shit with them. There was nothing negative coming out about him until all this shit started happening, until the little leaks and bullshit were coming out through Dave and the other dirt sheets. And shockingly enough, since everybody's been gone, none of this shit has been coming out either. Watch it come back light speed once they're allowed back in the backstage.
So I have two counterpoints to that. The first is that the Elite were also instrumental in trying to get Punk in 3 years ago when AEW started. So I think they recognize the power of CM Punk.
Time out. That was Cody Rhodes.
It was also the Bucks. The Bucks were in contact with him at that point in time.
He had the conversations with Cody Rhodes. That is. I heard those words come out of his mouth on the Renee, what's her face, Paquette podcast. She said that Punk talked to Cody Rhodes because him and Cody were close from WWE. So he talked to Cody. That was the guy he had the most contact with, was Cody.
It might have been the most contact, but they were still a part of trying to get him into AEW. I don't remember what my second point was. So
I feel like you're trying to blame Punk and say that this is all Punk's fault when I don't think it is.
I'm not. But what you're trying to say is that it's everybody's fault equally, and it's not. Punk has made this a lot worse for himself by making things public. And yes, that's what he does. And yes, he's done that in the past, and it's worked out well. This time it did not work out so well. I don't want to justify what Tony Khan is doing, buying out his contract, whether that is, in fact, it seems like that's the case.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I totally understand why he's doing it, because Punk is making AEW look bad. And so why would you keep a guy in the company who's potentially going to continue doing that?
I just think when you have a guy like that and you're going to needle him and you're going to talk shit behind his back and you know it's going to get back to him, like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, you can't start spreading rumors about a guy. You can't start talking shit. You can't talk the dirt sheets, I mean, and you can't fucking do all that shit and spread all that shit and not expect him to respond. You know what kind of guy he is. You're needling him and you're setting him up to do something. So to me, it's just like, yeah, they didn't agree with them. And to be honest with you, shit, if I'm the Bucks and Omega and I'm sitting here and I'm running roughshod over this place and I'm like the top star, this fucking guy comes in and he's a needle mover, I'm going to be threatened because it's a natural response. It is a natural fucking response to say, this fucking guy is going to take my spot. Now, is that what was going to happen? No, because there's enough of the pie to go around. But that doesn't mean that Kenny Omega is going to not sit there and be like, fuck, I don't want this guy to come in and, I'm the guy here. Like, he can't be the fucking guy here. And he comes in and he's more popular than you. He gets a bigger pop than you. He does all this shit. And he's a fucking prickly bastard. Because he is. Punk's a prickly bastard. But the dude is he's masterful at wrestling. He understands wrestling. So he comes in, he does his shit. And if you start taking shots at this fucking guy, dude, what the fuck would they do in 98 with Shawn Michaels? He would have fucking killed him. He would have went on TV and he would have fucking just tore him apart. You know what I mean? So it's just like, where do we draw the line of acceptable? And if you're going to push this fucking guy behind the scenes and you're going to do this shit and you know he's going to respond, then you have some responsibility for that situation. You can't just do that. And if I'm Punk and I don't have an outlet and I'm dealing with the shit and I'm constantly pissed off and nobody's stepping in and I start mouthing off and he was clearly pissed off at that scrum. And I think he was pissed off from being hurt. And I think that was the catalyst. He got fucking hurt. He knew he was hurt. So he's pissed. He came back. He got hurt right away. He's like, fuck. So he's mad and he's dealing with that shit. And there's all this stuff that's going on. And after the Hangman comment on Dynamite, fucking they all the dirt sheets were all about Punk and this, Punk that, Punk this, Punk that. And all he's reading about is all this shit. And he's irritated. He's a prickly fucker to begin with. So if you keep poking a guy like that, you know what's going to happen. If you fuck with the Bulls, you're going to get the horn. They got the horns. That's what I mean. What I'm saying here is we're trying to just like say this is totally CM Punk's fault. He did this, he did that. And yeah, was he wrong? Yeah, but the Bucks weren't right, and Omega wasn't right, and Tony Khan wasn't right. And to me, it seems like. It seems like the most political fucking game that I've ever seen of I'm going to poke this guy, I'm going to piss him off, I'm going to get him in trouble, and then I'm going to act like he's a big, mean asshole, and then I'm going to tell my boss is going to fire him. That's how I feel about this right now. That's kind of the way, and I want the Elite to come back, as weird as that sounds. Like, I want them to come back. I'm ready for them to come back. But to me, this whole Punk thing is just like...
It's typical bully shit.
That's how it feels.
Poke, and then play the victim when somebody swings back.
And that fucking and he's prickly, bud. And I'm not going to disagree with you. And
yeah, absolutely.
He was completely fucking
infamous. That's well documented.
Completely fucking out of line in that media scrum. Completely out of line in that media scrum. In every way, that never should have happened.
Especially the Colt shit.
Yeah, like that doesn't need to happen in there. Like that was completely out of fucking line, and I will not justify that. But at the same time, we can't sit here and say, well, it's not the Bucks' fault. It's not they do kind of make the company look bad when you poke this guy and prod this guy and go to the fucking dirt sheets and say, well, this guy's an asshole. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's doing this. He's doing that. Then you hear from other people like Ricky Stark's like, dude, he's cool. He tells me this. He tells me that. It's great to have conversations with. It's like, okay, well, now I'm getting a mixed signal. So somebody doesn't like the guy. And it just blew up, and it blew up in their face. And part of that is, at the end of the day, this is Tony Khan's fucking fault. Because he never took the time to sit down with these guys and be like, what the fuck is going on? And if those guys are EVPs, and I'm a wrestler and I'm coming to that company, I'm going to think twice. Because I'm going to be like, no, wait a minute.
For sure.
If something happens and these guys decide they don't like me, what the fuck's going to happen to me? And I guess that's kind of my point. So I think the blame is if you want to say that they're making the company look bad, then the Elite made the company look bad by going to the dirt sheets. That's my response to that. And I think this is, I think giving CM Punk like a bigger portion of this blame. I don't think that's fair. I just don't think that's the case. I think it's Tony Khan's fault. I think Tony Khan's the problem. You cannot fucking let your workers do that. If it's childish and it's bullshit and it's basically like what happens in a schoolyard. And that's exactly how this feels to me right now. It feels so elementary because it's like, oh, that guy's, we're going to bother him. Well, then he fucking punches you. He hit me. Get rid of him. Get him out of here. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay.
I
disagree with like 90% of what you've said. And I think a big part of that is that what you're trying to do is like make it a blame game. I don't care who's to blame. What I want to know are the facts. And the fact is that CM Punk went on live TV and went into business for himself to the detriment of one of their former champions. He went onto a media scrum and he talked shit when he really shouldn't have. He then fought with the EVPs when they showed up. Now, whether that's legal or not, that's a different story, but I understand why Tony Khan is considering buying out his contract. Because he is not making the AEW look very good.
I agree. But
the locker room does not like him, from what I'm reading. Talk, Leon.
The locker room. Just put an asterisk, the Elite.
And Eddie Kingston.
They're the ones who don't like him, dude. They're the ones who don't like him.
There's a lot of people who don't like him. He is not a likable guy. We have talked about this on the podcast. He is not a likable guy. He's a prickly guy, and lots of people don't like him.
Who else has put their name on that other than the Elite?
Eddie Kingston. I just told you.
Well, Eddie Kingston fucking hates everybody.
That is true. Eddie Kingston does pretty much fucking hate everybody, as much as I love him. And by the way, I saw him on Dynamite. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with him, but of all the things I saw in the hour and a half I watched, that is the thing I remember the most. That fucking guy is amazing. Eddie Kingston is the shit, and they fucking need to run with him because the character he's doing right now is fucking astronomically awesome. Back to Punk, go Leon.
I don't know. I just wanted to know who doesn't like him. The only ones that have been able to put their name on it are the ones who started all the bullshit by back channeling to Dave and everybody, and the guy who publicly fucking hates everyone. Everybody else who's been willing to put their name out there and say anything about him is nothing but positive shit. That's my issue with issue with the statement that the whole locker room hates him.
Okay, can I
take issue with that?
Let me tell you what though, because I'm going to agree with Bud on this one.
Fire away.
When you have a locker room like AEW that's so tight knit and so close, when you go to a scrum and you start attacking people, and you have a lot of younger guys who aren't really in the political bullshit, they just want to wrestle because they love wrestling, and they see that happen and they have to pick a side. And you see a guy explode like that and act like that, you're going to go with the other side because that's a lot to see. Like that whole thing. If I'm a guy in the back and I'm young and I'm like a Jungle Boy or somebody like that doesn't have like a ton of experience with bullshit, I'm gonna be like,
I've never really dealt with anything in the E or before that.
What the fuck is this guy trying to do to our company? Fuck him, get him out of here. He's a fucking cancer. So I see that, and I understand. Okay. I understand that piece of it, and I understand Tony Khan being like, he's a cancer now because of this. So like, what the fuck? What the fuck do I do now? So do I have to buy him out? And I think there's another way to do it, but can you bring him back in that locker room? I don't know. I don't know. But I can see how, there's such that company has such an atmosphere and it's so tight knit, and you start bringing in these other guys, and you bring in the Andrades, and you bring in shit like that, and these guys start doing this stuff, and they start, they're making more money than those people that started there. They're getting more chances, they're getting more shots, they're getting more fucking TV time. and then they act like fucking fools. So I can easily see how this locker room looked at CM Punk and said, dude, you're the fucking world champion. You're making more money than any of us will ever fucking make. You're doing all this shit. And you go out there and you fucking create a riff like this.
And he's taking shots at individuals who are generally liked in the locker room. Colt Cabana, Hangman Adam Page. Like,
well, the issue I take with the Colt Cabana one is why the fuck are we talking about Colt Cabana on the Wrestling Observer podcast when that's so long ago? Why did that come back up? Because Punk had nothing to do with it. Cabana wasn't doing anything, and they signed him to go to ROH, and then they act like this was Punk saying, fire that fucking guy. And Punk, I don't think Punk did that. I think Punk legitimately...
Tony should have shut that shit down as the first time he was asked about it. Like, no, that was my call. Nothing to do with Punk. Nothing anybody else. He was an ROH guy. I wanted him there, a little better in locker leadership, anything like that. He could have shut it down, and he didn't.
No, and then Punk got pissed about it. So I look at that and I kind of go...
Every time he was anywhere public or social media or anything, that's all anybody's asking him. Why'd you get Colt fired? Why'd you get Colt sent down? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? I mean, he's already he's a prickly asshole, and he gets needled about the same shit that doesn't have anything to do with him. I mean, it doesn't look great because he's got that well-documented fucking hatred for the guy now, but it wasn't him. It was a fucking Tony thing. If Tony would have came out and shut it down in the first place, it doesn't get there.
Here's the last point I'm going to make on this, and y'all can keep talking about it. I'm getting fired up. My last point is Eddie Kingston.
But I love you being fired up, by the way. It's fucking amazing.
Fucking ain't right.
Eddie Kingston and CM Punk are in a lot of ways very similar. They don't like a lot of people. Okay?
Exactly.
Eddie Kingston still goes out there. He does business. He shuts his mouth when he needs to. And he takes ownership. CM Punk has not done that. He's gone out when he was he went out and he talked shit about Colt Cabana. He went out and he talked shit about Hangman Adam Page. He's done this in the past. I don't have a history book, so I can't give you more information than that. But the fact is that CM Punk should be doing business differently. Eddie Kingston knows how to do business in this way. He knows that he doesn't have to like somebody to do business to do good numbers with them. CM Punk apparently doesn't get that. And so why have that guy there?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because I think Punk took it as a personal fucking shot. And I think Punk was just irritated. And I think Punk felt like these fucking punks are going to... And I think that's how he looks at him because he's older than them and he has done more in this business than those guys have. He's sold more tickets. He's done more shit. Whatever. Okay. But I think he looks at it as if you fucking punks are going to talk shit about me and you don't even fucking know. And he's prickly. He's also a diva. He is. He is. He's a guy that he busted his ass and he crawled and clawed and fucking got to the top of a company he never should have got to the top of. And he became, him leaving was... It's kind of like when Kurt Cobain with Nirvana, when he died, when he killed himself. Like, that made them legendary. Because if Nirvana was still around today making like a CD, you'd be like, God, I'm so fucking tired of these guys. You know what I mean? Like, he became legendary because it's it. So he had this career and it got to this point. He's like, fuck it, I'm done. And then he comes back into a different company and it was the biggest fucking moment of the year. It was the biggest fucking moment in this business probably in 20 years. And it was. There was no moment that even matches it. You can look at when Lesnar came back, how big that was. It doesn't touch Punk's. Punk's return was the fucking moment. That dude won the championship, and that was a fucking moment when he beat Hangman. Like, everything he does is a moment. He's a fucking diva, and he knows what he is. And if you're gonna... I just feel like... We're sitting here, and I feel like everybody's, like, giving the Elite this pass. Like, they didn't fucking do anything, or they don't deserve any of the
You all aren't.
No, we're not.
And to be fair, I'm not either.
Because I think there's professional jealousy, and I think it started small, and then it ramped up, and they're close with Colt Cabana. They got pissed. They blamed the Colt Cabana situation on Punk, and then this thing it completely rolled out of control. Okay, but here's a guy who I just, of all the people that you would want to fuck with, I just don't understand why they picked him. Like, I don't understand why, and I guess it's because they don't see eye to eye or whatever. But it's like, dude, if you fuck with this guy, he's gonna fuck with you back. You have to know that. They were trying to set him up to self-sabotage, and that's exactly what they did. If that's what they're trying to do, kudos to them. But the elite piece of this feels very political to me. It feels very, very political, and that's so when I say when you would think about coming twice to this company, well, the big issue with WWE was always, well, they play political games and they have golden shovels and this and that and this and that and this and that. Well, shit, if these are the games they're going to play a political game and they're going to get fucking CM Punk kicked out of the company. Well, holy fuck, how much power do they have?
Yeah, but you're making a jump between it was the elite's fault that he's getting fired. And I don't buy that. I do not buy that.
It's two to tango.
Yes.
It's partially his fault and it's partially their fault.
Yes.
But
I still don't think that it's their fault that he is getting fired. I think he's getting fired because he fucked up. And I think they're not getting fired because they fucked up less.
I just would be very cautious with him, because are they going to fucking... The next thing you know, what if it's fucking... Okay, what if it's Bryan Danielson? What if he does something and they get mad and they start going to the sheets and saying, oh, he's working too stiff, he's working this. Now, Danielson would never fucking do what Punk did. Never in a million years. But do you understand what I'm saying? Are we going to go there and we're going to start smearing Bryan Danielson? Is that like the next thing we're going to do?
But there's no history of that aside from this CM Punk thing.
Okay.
And you can speculate on that. Yeah, that's fine. But that's not what I'm like. That's not the thing. The thing is that CM Punk is getting bought out because of what he did.
And I think there's more people at fault. And I don't know. I think,
as do I.
I think the elite are. I just feel like they pulled a fast move on everybody and they got what they wanted. That's just how I feel. And I just don't think. I don't think this is the right call. I don't think this is the right call. I think the right call is to say, hey, you fucking assholes. You're fucking adults. You work in a fucking business. Get your head out of your asses and let's fucking fix this. You could get the fuck down here to work. We're going to sit down and we're going to sort this the fuck out. And we're going to fucking apologize and we're going to move on and we're going to do some shit. That's the right thing to do.
I'll agree with you there. Absolutely.
This also feels like a cop-out of Tony of, I'm just going to fire this guy. Well, I don't think that's the right call. He's going to go to WWE. First fucking chance he gets. No, disagree. Because he's fucking mad. He's going to go to WWE and he's going to bury AEW. You fucking watch. He'll go there and he will not be a full-timer. He will not be a full-timer. He will come to that. He'll come to Raw or SmackDown. He'll be a part-time guy and he'll do just a little bit of business with him, but he's going to go there and he's going to fucking badmouth the shit out of AEW. He will fucking bury that company.
I have also read that there are people in Triple H's ears saying that if this happens, don't hire him.
Sure.
Triple H works like Triple H is his own man. He's not like Vince. He's not gonna like he's gonna take their advice, but at the end of the day, he's gonna make his own decision.
I just think back to X-Pac and the difference X-Pac made when he showed up after WrestleMania. And X-Pac wasn't even a fucking star when he came out and he badmouthed WCW. And in spite of the way they're trying to portray it, we're in a war with these two companies. It's not to the extent of what it was with WCW back in the day. But like last Tuesday, they sent everything they could to put on NXT to try to beat AEW, and they didn't do it. So they're busting their ass to beat them however they can. So there's a war. Is it like the WCW war? God, no. But it's a war nonetheless. So to have that chance to have somebody come out and to paint them as Bush Leagues, which is pretty easy to fucking do right now. You know, because look at what the fuck's going on over there. And Andrade, is Andrade going to come back? Like all this shit, you know what I mean? So it's pretty easy to say, yeah, Punk, come on in, we'll do this. We'll let you come in, we'll give you a match with so-and-so. and we'll give you your WrestleMania moment, blah, 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 and cut a promo. Just say whatever you want to say. What's he going to say? If he gets the live mic on TV, he's going to fucking he's going to destroy the Elite. He's going to destroy Hangman. He's going to destroy Tony.
Sure.
He's going to destroy him. And they're going to look even stupider. So that's why I think your best bet is to try to just somehow bridge this gap and be like, okay, how the fuck do we work through this? And I do go back to the old thing that I've said to you, and I've said both to you many times. This was like 1987. We never heard about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It would have been you get the fucking shit out of your system and go move on with your day. And they're not, just.
Well, I mean, there would have been a blurb about it in the Observer, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, all four of these guys are divas. All four of them have egos. All four of them are kid glove guys. Like, you got to have kid gloves with them, and they don't get shit their way. They pout. The Young Bucks, I've seen them pout. Kenny Omega has pouted. They will pout. They will do those things. So it's just like, we got to figure this out. That's just my opinion. I think letting him go is going to create more problems than keeping him. As ridiculous as that sounds, I know that sounds ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. But yeah. Anything else we got on this one?
I think we've hit all of the bases.
I think we oddly agree and disagree at the same time.
I mostly disagree.
It's odd. It's very
odd.
I
guess we're both.
We do.
Let's go back into AEW. Let's talk about MJF. Because oddly enough, I thought because of this whole CM Punk thing, because it looked like he had something pretty huge set up with Punk, and they don't get to do it. Oddly enough, he's getting, he's on fire right now.
Unbelievable.
He's incredible.
Wait till you see what happened tonight.
The thing that he did with Regal last week, fucking amazing. 10 times, it's just amazing.
Leon didn't like it. Leon criticized it.
Well,
Leon did criticize it.
I kind of think that having seen that again, I kind of think that's a babyface move on his part, without actually being a babyface. Bringing in the fourth wall shit.
Neither of you have seen tonight.
Correct.
And watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I initially thought what Leon thought, that they were going to have him act like he was going to do the right thing, and then they were going to just fucking have him cheat to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then tonight, I saw what they were doing, and I saw the way they did it. And then at first I was like, okay, it could still happen. And then some things happened, and I was like, are they going to turn this fucking guy face? Because if you turn him face right now, do you have the biggest star in wrestling?
I think he can be the biggest star in wrestling as a heel.
True, but I think if you turn him face, they're really riding that line, and what they did tonight is you have to watch it. I don't you'd have
no spoiling.
I hit my mic in accident. No, I'm not spoiling, but you'll have to see what happens, and then you'll kind of be in the same boat of I am, because I initially thought it was they're gonna do what Leon said, but now I'm like, are they trying to do something else? Because now if they do that, it's it's not going to make much sense. You'll have to see. We'll talk about that one later. But I think him. Could you turn him face and have him act exactly the same way? You could you not?
Yeah, yep. I mean, I guess.
You totally could.
Yeah. Because he's getting a face reaction right now. It's not exactly like the traditional face, but I think it's the cool guy heel face. Even though he fucking hates everybody. I love the fact that he just fucking rags on everybody.
And they just cheer for him.
And they cheer for him anyway.
He's so organic. He got over so organically. Like he came in and he had the look, and he's not a bad wrestler, but he gets a microphone in his hand. It's just like, holy fuck, this guy's amazing. He's fucking amazing. And I think that's the other beautiful part about those other guys being gone is we're starting to get some guys that are getting spots they wouldn't have got.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy is all Atlantic champion is the greatest thing I've ever seen. The fact that he doesn't like to carry his belt because it's too heavy, so he puts it in the backpack. I fucking love it. He walks to the ring with the backpack on, and they're like looking for the belt. And he's like, "Hold on," and then he takes the belt out. Then he can barely pick it up. It's just like, this guy's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. I watched Wet Hot American Summer this weekend, which is what his character is based on. The one guy in that movie. Paul Rudd's character. I watched it and I was just like, okay, yeah, that makes perfect fucking sense. It's just it's fun. So that movie's really fucking stupid, but it's just perfect. Just this guy that's just like, I'm too cool to do anything and I don't care and I just whatever. It was just
whatever.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Whatever. Okay.
The Rock's daughter debuted last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I didn't actually see it. I just saw like a picture of it on my Instagram. Good for her. I don't know if she's any good. I don't know anything about her. She's got a dumb name, whatever it is.
She's a fourth generation superstar.
They should call her the Rockette. I
think there might be trademark issues there.
Yeah, whatever.
The Ruby. Or the Gemstone. I don't know. Because she's a lady. I got nothing.
I'm curious to see how she does because she's going to get a push.
Yeah.
Simply because who she is. Even if she has no talent. I don't know if she has talent. I have no idea. I've never seen her work. She's pretty green. So like we'll have to see. This one we'll have to come back and look at in a little bit. And be like, yeah, okay, she's good.
She's been training for better than a year at this point, hasn't she?
I think so.
Yeah, training for a year, you're still green as fuck, dude.
I know.
She's been training, and I think she'll work. They have a plan for her. So I mean, we'll see. HBK is rocking it down there.
Yes.
HBK would have loved Tony Khan, by the way. He would have loved Tony Khan if he got on his good side.
Oh God, he would have fucking.
Yeah. He would have loved Tony Khan.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm trying to think of anything else exciting going on in the wrestling world. What else you got, bud?
Penta. Can we talk about Penta?
Sure.
So he had okay, this is in particular is what I want to talk about because I think I had forgotten about his mask versus mask match because I hadn't seen it. I had heard things about it. But like it was apparently a really fucking good match. And the thing is, like they threw him into a match. AEW threw him into a match with Moxley. And it seems like it is out of nowhere. And this is like I guess I'm just like bothered by the fact that they're banking on smart fans or fans who like AAA to like sell Penta to us. But that doesn't work because like the three of us don't watch AAA. Yeah. Like we were probably aware of that match, but like why should I care about that match?
Leon, come back. It's a great question. It's a great question. They seem to be Ray Phoenix is getting a shot at the All Atlantic.
Oh, cool.
Well, it's a 3-way. Apparently, Orange Cassidy is only doing 3-ways. As dirty as it sounds. Next week he's fighting Ray Phoenix and Luchasaurus in a 3-way, and it's just like okay, they seem to be prominently trying to feature the Death Triangle. That I think is what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I think they're trying to put them in spots. Leon, stop talking to your cat; it's distracting. They're trying to put them in prominent
You know.
spots to make the Death Triangle matter, and I think they're trying to bring more light on them. They've got something planned for the Death Triangle, and I think it's going to be kind of big.
Okay.
That's my and I think that's why they did that. Because they weren't supposed to be the trios champions.
Yeah.
Part of me also thinks that the Elite's going to come back and just win those belts back right away. I honestly think.
I mean, you're probably right, but they don't have to do that.
No, but I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna come back and like, we're the rightful champions, blah blah blah, and they'll go in there, let's fucking beat them because they
never lost our belts.
They had a plan for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They had a fucking plan, and what it was, I don't know. But I'm sure Tony Khan's just like, fuck, come back with this plan now, and go from there. But that's why I think they did that. I think they're just trying to get them in high profile matches, because they're kind of a mid card act, sometimes upper mid card.
Yeah.
So they're not, Penta's not going to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not spoiling anything by telling you that. Like, that's not going to happen. So it's just like, and Rey Fenix is not going to win the All Atlantic, and neither is Luchasaurus. We know that. But
they're I suppose you're right. They're raising their stock by like putting them in bigger matches like that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Particularly we've talked about this before. That
bullshit.
The Lucha Brothers don't have the kind of cash that Pac does. Like Pac is more recognizable, and the Lucha Brothers can sort of be hit or miss.
Pac's very well rounded.
Yes,
and I think he needs to get away from Death Triangle, and I think they have some other plans for him. I think like a heel group for him would be great, or something like that. Maybe he just goes by himself.
He could be by himself. Like, I would love to see him as an asshole by himself.
I'm really at a point where I want that TNT title on a worker, not a Wardlow. I love Wardlow. I think Wardlow's amazing. But he never defends fucking belt, and he never does anything with it. I want somebody there that's going to actually, like, I want that belt on TV every week being defended.
Yeah.
Like, that's what needs to happen. That's what that belt was designed for. Cody Rhodes was an awesome champion. Darby Allin was an awesome champion.
Yeah, seriously, make it like a 10 or 15 minute time limit every week and make him go all the time.
Yeah, that's what they need to do with it. And right now, you can't do that with Wardlow. Not because he can't, because I think he can. Because I think Wardlow's a better worker than we're giving him credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but his character-wise now. His character is he goes out and fucking hosses people.
And so I don't know how
which doesn't make for long, compelling matches.
No, and they're running out of shit for him to do. So they got to figure out a way.
Mm-hmm.
Hindsight 2020 probably should have not have put that belt on him, but they did. So what are you gonna do? Because he's just fucking killing people. But at some point, that's the problem. But he's not a Goldberg or a Warrior because he can work. So I think he'll be just fine long term. I think he's gonna be okay. They just gotta find a way.
And he seems competent enough on the mic too.
He's getting good on the mic.
Yeah, like he's not gonna blow anybody away on there. But I mean, he's also not a liability if you put him out there with a microphone either.
Hanging out with MJF and listening to MJF cut promos and working alongside him for as long as he did. Some of that shit's gonna rub off.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be just fine.
Osmosis Jones.
Got anything else, bud?
What do I have? The Kingdom debuted last week. They're apparently all three of them under full contracts, which is cool.
Yep. That surprised me because I thought that one guy was gonna go to WWE.
Bennett?
No, Taven.
Oh.
Triple H wanted him bad. So the fact that he went to AEW is pretty. I'm happy for Maria. I always liked Maria.
Yeah.
I thought her character in WWE, they made her so stupid she didn't know what was going on. I thought she played that really well. But then now, you listen to her talk and you're like, that woman is pretty fucking smart.
Yeah.
She's very well spoken and smart. So I'm happy for her.
She made really big strides in TNA. And
also when her and Mike Bennett showed up in WWE and he became Mike Kanellis, and they had that fucking.
I loved that. Loved that.
How did they mess that up? That
He
could have
got
been
hurt.
so that
He got hurt and she got pregnant.
But oh my
So
fucking
fire 'em.
god, dude! Oh my fucking god! If you could have played that up the right way, that could have been the greatest angle. They're annoying because they're so in love with each other, and it's just fucking sickening. Like, to me, that is the best character ever.
Yeah.
They're heels because they love each other. It's so simple, and it's just like they're just throwing it down your fucking throat. To me, that was just when I saw him debut, because I saw him debut and I saw the music and I saw the whole presentation. I'm like, this isn't fucking gonna work. And then it didn't work. And then they turned him into a cuck, I guess. I don't know. So
Yeah, that was weird as fuck.
That sounds like Vince.
very, very uncomfortable situation. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they had two of those angles going on at the same time. It was
Yeah.
weird.
It's like that's what Vince does in his life or something. Weird.
Jamie Hayter? Do we want to spend some time talking about Jamie Hayter? Also on fire. I think that she's doing some. I think she's close. Like she's. I'm impressed by her work right now.
She's an amazing worker. And she's got a good character, and she needs to get away from Britt Baker, and because Saraya showed up,
Can't really right now.
you can't do it right now because her natural feud is going to be Britt Baker. So that's what it's got to be. So now we've delayed that. So I don't know. And they're going to get a one-off match with Britt and Paige. So
do you think it's just going to be one-off?
I don't think Paige is going to be full-time.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
I don't think so. I think she's going to come in and she'll work, and I think she'll be I think she'll be fine. You know what I mean? But I don't think she's gonna be like AEW Women's Champion or anything. I think she's just gonna be there, and I think she'll wrestle at like big shows and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
think she's gonna be in every show person.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that, but you make a good point because like you look at Daniel BD, whatever his name is. I don't know what his name is. I really don't. Like
Brian.
They said it too many times back and forth, and now I don't know what it is. It's Diane Branielson, and you will not convince me otherwise. He came back, and he's working every week. CM Punk even he came back and he worked regularly.
But her injury is a lot more severe than what Danielson's was.
Okay.
So I think that's why, because I don't think her neck's really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think she has like a ton of matches left. I think she can work, but I don't think it's going to be her going out every night and working every other Dynamite or anything like that. I think she's just going to do big shows, which is fine because she's a star, and that was a good get for them.
Yeah.
And it gives their women's thing a boost, especially if she can put some people over and make some stars. Because that's what they need right now. They have so many people that are just on the cusp of busting out of that division. That division always feels like it's being held back by something, and I can't quite figure out what. Like Jamie Hayter right now is stuck because Britt's going to feud with Saraya. And, Tony Storm's the champion, but not really because of Thunder Rosa. So it's just like, it's just weird.
Athena's
another one. She just jobbed to Jade, so she's back down the line. But
yeah, because nobody can beat Jade.
I think that's the thing that's holding them back. I don't think Tony Khan knows how to book women's wrestling. Because it is different. It is different from WWE, or like mainstream professional wrestling.
He got Baker over, and he knew how to book Britt Baker, and part of that could have been Britt Baker getting it. But like the build of Britt Baker and the way they did it was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But then the problem that we always have with Tony Khan is like Sheeta lost to Baker and then just disappeared from TV for 6 months.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you don't know what to do with her. But I do remember back in the day in WWF, if you were a heel champion, you would go to WrestleMania, you'd lose to the babyface, and you'd take like 3-4 months off. They get you off TV and they bring you back to something else.
Mm-hmm.
That was what they did a lot of times. That happened to a ton of guys back in the day. They wouldn't bring you right back to TV. So there's something to that. Because if you're the heel, blah, 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 blah. But like when you have Athena who's trying to climb and then she loses, and it's like,
mm-hmm.
have fun on Dark. We'll see you. And 4 months.
I did have like, I had like a bunch of things on my whiteboard here about like, where's this guy, and I had to remind myself that AEW has this different mindset. Tony Khan has this different mindset that you can put somebody through the ringer and then give them a few months off. Like he's about giving them time. And so like oftentimes I think that when we don't see somebody, it's not just, oh, he's lost Tony Khan's favor, which I'm sure happens. But it's also like they needed some time off. Like Malachi Black, like he just needed some time off.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I do, but I think sometimes like a Sheeta wasn't seen on TV, then she just starts showing up on Dark. Everybody's like, where the fuck's she been? You know, because she was a pretty. They made her a star too.
Mm-hmm.
She was a star because her work rate in those matches where she was defending was fucking amazing. She was so much fun to watch when she was champion. She pulled a good match out of Nyla Rose. I'm not always a fan of Nyla Rose matches. Not gonna lie to you.
I mean, that's fair.
Her character itself.
I mean, she's capable, but she kind of needs a dance partner to be able to lead her.
She really needs a good. And Sheeta, like they had a match when Sheeta won the belt from her. I was like, holy fuck, that was really good. So then there's other matches like when Nyla finally fights Jade. Oh my lord, it's gonna be drizzling shits, man. It's gonna be not good.
That's gonna need to be one. That's gonna need to be like fucking Hogan Warrior, where everything, every spot, every moment is planned out and fucking worked on and perfected beforehand. Because if they just let those two go out there and just
call it in the ring,
yeah. Because
I think Nyla's a more capable wrestler. Nyla just has some serious limitations due to her size and her ability. She's not the best worker. She's not awful by any means. But she's
got personality for fucking days, though.
She's got charisma like a sumbitch.
Yeah.
But I think she can. There's some matches of hers that I've watched that I've just been like, she's not good. And like she fought Ty Mello one time, and it was one of the worst matches I think I've ever seen. And it was like, it was so bad. And Ty's another one that is either really good or really bad. It's like one or the other. Like sometimes I watch her matches and I'm like, she's so good. And then other times I watch her matches, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? She's just so up and down. And again, it depends on who you're wrestling with, you know. But yeah, they've definitely got some people there that they're gonna build up. But they're going with Jade. They should make Jade the ROH Women's Champion. Just let her go to another show and do her thing.
Oh dear God.
I mean, that's not the worst idea.
Yeah, because that TBS belt has been so. Like normally, if you put a belt on somebody and they hold it forever, when they lose it, it's a big deal. But at this point, it's just like,
yeah,
the belt has no meaning.
Yeah, I mean, it was a brand new title when she got it. So like, there's no star power behind it to begin with. There's no history.
There's no work rate.
Yeah,
you know, there's no nothing. And by the way, in the WWE, that Intercontinental belt, they have it on Walter.
Okay.
And that guy is fucking
Gunter.
He's fucking killing it. Yeah, Gunter, my bad, sorry. But he's killing it. Like he's having like legit 5-star matches with people over that belt.
Mm-hmm.
They have brought that belt back. To me, that is fucking amazing because that belt always used to be so fucking important. You won that, you held that for like a year or so, and then you went up to the world. And I hope to God they're doing that again. Because that belt has been so underutilized and devalued and bullshitted. But a guy like that getting that belt and just fucking putting on these matches is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really good things going on over there. I'm very happy for WWE. I still am not going to watch though because
got other wrestling to watch.
The problem I have with WWE is that it pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watch it and I get legitimately fucking angry, way more angry than I should. Like it's stupid. It's stupid how fucking mad I get. But it's like you're so dumb, and you're doing this stupid shit, and you're putting on these farcical matches, and they're doing a better job with it now. But like I watch AEW and I watch it, and I'm able to like suspend belief. Okay, so I'm not I'm watching the show. I understand I'm watching the show, but I'm into the show. I'm living in the show. I'm living in the storyline. I'm not thinking about the backstage shit. I've never done that with AEW. I watch WWE, and that's all I can fucking do. Because it's like, oh, well, they're not pushing that guy because of this, or this. Well, they don't want that fucking guy to win. They're burying him, and that's all I find myself doing. And I think that's just a microcosm of the middle, 2000s there, 2010 and on, where it's just like they don't ever want to fucking do anything. And I hate it because it's like I know they want to push this guy, and then automatically I'm like, fuck this guy, which isn't right because I should give the guy a chance to actually get over. But like with Roman, like stop pushing this fucking guy. You love him, you just don't know it. He's the big dog. He gets reactions. It's just like, oh my god, come on. They're booing him. Well, yeah, the crowd's booing him, but they're only doing that because they love him. No, they fucking hate him. Like, no. So that's my problem with watching WWE, and I hope to God that goes away because it's not fun. I don't have fun watching WWE, and I haven't for a long, long time, and that's why. Because like I just look at it and I'm just like, I can't see it for professional wrestling. I see it beyond that, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, since the last pay-per-view and Bray came back, pretty much it's been like I've just been watching the Hulu versions, and I'll pay attention when he's on screen. Those 2 segments so far in the last 2 weeks, and then other than that, it's pretty much vaguely listening while scrolling on my phone.
Yeah, I just can't. And maybe that'll go away. Maybe I'll start. Maybe they're gonna hit something, but.
I mean, one can hope.
And I'm struggling also. I'm really, really struggling with Cody Rhodes. Because Cody Rhodes is living the dream that every one of us would love to live. You're professional wrestling. You're living your dream. You went there. That sucked. You went away. You started your own company. You did all this shit in your own company. They begged you to come back. Now you're the fucking guy. The problem I have with Cody Rhodes is everything with him feels so ungenuine. And I don't know why. And maybe part of it is all the shit he talked about how AEW is this, and they're the greatest company, and da-da-da-da-da. And I came out and I broke a throne with a sledgehammer. Like I did all this shit, and now it's like,
yeah,
back, and I'm struggling really, really hard with him.
Feels really disingenuous.
I'm very happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for him, and I'm very happy he got paid because the dude fucking deserved it because he busted his ass in AEW. And his matches were good. He had really good fucking matches. That dude is not the best worker in the world, but he never had a fucking bad match. And his promos were amazing. Like, he hit fucking home runs. And now he's over there, and I guess Leon hit the nail on the head. It's just not, it feels so just disingenuine. He's just not. So I'm really struggling with him. But man, Roman's great.
There's a reason he's the head of the table.
Acknowledge him, Leon. Just acknowledge him. But I'm hoping. I do hope that like I am more interested in WWE than I have been in over 10 years, and that's saying something. Because the last time I really gave a shit was Brian. When Brian won the title in 2011 or whatever the hell, or 2014, whatever that was. Then he got hurt right away, and then it was just I didn't care anymore. I lost all momentum for that. So, yeah, I mean it's good, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we're gonna get Bud to watch it.
No, I got other stuff to do.
Do you have anything else, Bud?
I don't got anything else. No.
Leon, you have anything you want to talk about?
I will not acknowledge him.
Okay.
But
what?
The inevitable Sammy face turn is going to be fun.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. There's some stuff. They're what they're doing is they're starting to build some storylines and they're starting to set some things up, and they're going to do a long-term build with stuff. And I think in a company that used to be just seat of your pants every week, something weird happens.
Rewriting shit as you're on air.
Yeah, like you can't have any momentum with that. Now we got some momentum, which is good because if you look back, you just look at Stone Cold Steve Austin as WWF champion back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they did with him was so well thought out. And they did it better than fucking anybody. They have the capability. They have the capability to be the greatest wrestling company in the world if they so choose. But we will see what happens.
Yeah, we will.
Maybe The Rock will buy it out. I heard somebody ask him if he's going to buy the WWE. That would be weird.
Yeah, I don't think he has that kind of money. But who knows?
I don't know, dude. He makes a lot of fun.
That's true.
He's probably got money coming out of his butthole.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Should we ask him?
Somebody message him.
You need $5 here. Oh, you shit a 20. Cool. Yeah, I'll just keep the change. Oh, there's shit on this.
Gross.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know. We had a good banter about the CM Punk thing. As much as we disagree, I think like I said, I think we do agree in a way though too. Bad situation all around.
Yeah.
But the Elite's coming back. And we'll see how. Yeah, Leah doesn't like the Elite. I like the Elite.
I don't care that they're coming back. If I'm entirely honest, I really don't. Because I love the TV.
They're coming back and Punk ain't. That's what I care about.
Leon's gonna hold a grudge on that one, I think, for a little bit.
Oh yeah. There's one thing I'm good at.
True.
I'm just happy for the pushes that everybody else is getting.
That to me,
that's the thing that I hope that they keep up.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing for me too. I think when that initially happened, everybody was like spin on. What are they gonna do? And then they did stuff, and it was like, oh, that was fucking better than probably what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
So,
it's true.
But if the Elite's gonna come back and do more of that bullshit, fucking buy them out too.
I agree. 100%. If that's how they're gonna do business, then get them the fuck out of there.
Yeah. They don't need them. They have Orange Cassidy. They don't need anything else. I would spend.
They really don't. That sounds like a joke, but you're right. They don't need anything other than Orange Cassidy and Ricky Starks and Hobbs, and like they have a roster of homegrown guys who made their name in AEW who they can rest on.
And they've got.
I mean, they don't have Roman Reigns, but
they've got guys like Chris
do?
Jericho and guys like Bryan Danielson and guys like John Moxley who are like fucking legitimate locker room leaders who don't fucking do that, and those guys are amazing. Speaking of that, have you ever seen the show The Floor Is Lava?
Briefly, yeah.
It's on Netflix.
I think I saw the first season.
Dude, do you know who was on that show? Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy, and Chuck Taylor.
Fucking really?
They were on, it was the most amazing fucking thing. Taylor is like such a clumsy fucker because he's so big. And they're doing this shit, and then he falls. He's standing on a swing and swinging back and forth. All of a sudden, he just falls into the lava. And Statlander is just like leaping here, leaping there. She's so athletic. She's so fucking athletic. And Orange Cassidy's super athletic too. But he's fucking Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
So he's leaning up against the wall with his hands in the pockets. Oh, Chris is talking, and then the host is like, is Orange going to do anything? And Chris is like, probably not. Well, then he finally goes in, and it's a whole course. He gets through the entire course, just boom, boom, boom. And he's at the end, because the dude's amazingly athletic. And he's at the last part, and he's sitting there like, okay, I know. And Chris gets over to the end, and he's like, good job, Chris. And he's like, my turn now. And he's got to jump on a beach ball, stand up, and then jump to the end. Well, he jumps on the beach ball, and it's wet. He goes to stand up, and just slides in the water. And as he's sliding, all you see is his thumb off the water. And I'm like, that is the most amazing fucking thing ever. The most amazing fucking thing ever. It was great. That was fucking great. That was hilarious. I watched it on Netflix because I saw he was on there. They're right there, though, is a good prime example of people that need the push.
Yeah.
Those people.
It's too bad that Stat got injured. Because she was starting to get it.
She'll come back and she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Did you see the after Orange Cassidy won the belt? He went live on after the TV show cut off. He got a microphone and he starts talking. He's like, "Hi, Canada. My name is Orange Cassidy." And then he just goes fucking crazy. And then he looks at his belt and goes, "Well, I don't want to carry this. So I have something." And then Statlander comes down with a backpack and she's got a brace on her knee. And he's like, "Oh my God, Stat, can you walk any slower? It's like you're hurt or something." It's just like, it was just fucking gold. The dude is just, he can, I just stand by saying he can be world champion someday. It would have to be done the right way, but it would work.
Yeah, they couldn't just dump it on him.
He is such an AEW guy, and he's such an AEW. He's like the epitome of what AEW is.
Mm-hmm.
Could he go to WWE and have success? I don't think so, because I don't think they know how to use him.
No, I think you're right.
And credit to Tony Khan for that. But I watched that and I watched what he does, and the dude has charisma. As weird as that sounds, but his charisma's off the charts, and he can cut a promo. And he's just like the epitome. He's got star power. He's got a weird star power. Like, he walks to the ring and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Even if you don't know what wrestling is, you're just like, who the fuck is this guy? Kind of like Danhausen.
Yeah.
I read an interview with Danhausen too, where he was talking, or I heard it. He was talking about how he was out of character, which is rare for him. He's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, people say I'm a shitty comedy wrestler and I would joke and I'm this and that and this and that. But then I talk to people that are casual fans that watch our show, and they're like, well, I want to keep watching because of Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. That's what they like. So you tell me what the problem is. So it's just like, they need to do more with Danhausen.
They really do.
I think they will. But I just hope those opportunities open up. That's kind of what I'm liking, because they were getting a little star heavy there for a while, where it was all Punk, all Elite. And it's just getting rid of those guys is kind of, I like that flow of the show where there's a lot of different shit happening. And Jericho wasn't even on tonight from what I saw. Maybe he was. I don't know. I missed part of it. So I'll have to watch that later. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
He was. You just couldn't see him because he's a wizard.
That's true. He is a wizard.
Maybe John Cena will join AEW.
Now that would be a get.
Would it though? He actually probably would be if he came in and was heel. Oh my God.
He'd have to be a heel.
That would be amazing.
That place would lose its mind.
No, he would still be face, just to spite everyone. That's the thing, is like he's been face for this long. He does it to spite the smart fans. He does. He's like, fuck everybody else. I'm just gonna be a face anyway.
What the fuck would happen if at the end of a Dynamite, like fucking, let's say, like Eddie Kingston's in the ring doing something, he just like won a match or something, and fucking Roman Reigns music hit and he came out and like knocked Eddie Kingston out.
I might boycott
that.
But I mean, Roman Reigns is the head of the table, though.
That would be fucking. If he came there as a heel, that would be fucking. He would be the biggest heel ever. He already is, but like to that audience.
Yeah, no, it's true.
They'd fucking string him up by his balls.
That would be ECW heat.
That evil on me.
And they could replace.
Don't you put that evil on me.
They could replace Roman Reigns with Von Wagner.
Well, then I'm interested again.
The head of the table. I'm Von Wagner. Oh,
I'm down. They should do it.
Kelly Kincaid can be his manager because that's a porn name. But it's not, because it's an NXT wrestler. I swear to God, they just found a porn name generator and we're like, let's use that. Those names sound cool.
And they still have them.
That's why I'm Pierre Seaman.
And I'm Magnus Ryder.
Bjorn Hammer is Leon.